Ratchet and Clank walkthrough going Commando. So this is going to be a pretty interesting level. We get to run into the planet where all of those aliens that we've been chasing are actually being produced, and there's going to be a ton of boxes of these weird aliens. I forgot what they were called. And there's also going to be the easy ones, which are going to be one-shot kills, and then there's going to be harder ones, which are slightly annoying, but they're not actually too bad. So you get up close to a box like this, and you can see that an alien face is pasted on the front of it. And luckily these boxes can't blow up, but eventually they will start bursting open, and we're going to have to learn how to deal with it. Now we're also getting to where the levels are going to be a little bit lengthy for the next video or two, and then they're going to be really short, and then they're going to be lengthy again, and then it's going to be the end. So we're nearing the final boss in this game, which is pretty cool. I mean, this was a pretty good game. It's my favorite of the original trilogy so far. So anyway, as you can see that there's this electric field here, and if you push on that button, then it will go away, but you can also take care of these enemies before you do that, and that's something you will want to do. And if those enemies attack the shield while trying to attack you, then they will take damage. And this is similar to the electric fences in the first game, where you could actually kill a bunch of them by using the taunter, and with that taunter you could get them just to die, just to basically kill themselves by putting it up in a shield. Now these smaller enemies aren't really too difficult. They just kind of chase at you and then they'll bite you, and I was trying to switch to my mini turret because I kind of wanted to get that upgraded, but unfortunately I don't think I ever actually did by the time I beat the game. And anyway, once you come down here, the mini turret's pretty good because those guys will come out of the box, and you can just throw the mini turret to try your best to take them out. Now the reason these kind of crab enemies are extremely annoying is because when they take damage, they will attack and then lunge at whatever's causing the damage, and you can see that as they're trying to attack these mini turrets. Now it seems with two mini turrets are actually having a hard time doing it, but with one of them, you could see earlier one of them will get attacked, like that one right there. It gets hurt and then it lunges, and that makes attacking them with Ratchet extremely difficult because they take quite a few hits to die, and it's really easy to get hit by them because it's almost guaranteed if you're using your Ratchet, and even if you're not, it's almost guaranteed if you're using a close-ranged weapon. So of course, like in the first game, if you remember, if you ever played the first game and there were those other crab enemies that we had to attack and then we double jump and then attack again, that's one way you can deal with these guys, is just by attacking and then trying to double jump out of the way before they can actually hit you with their lunge. Other ways are just to keep them out of reach and use other weapons that can actually destroy them from afar, and that would be things like the mini turret. And I was trying to give the sheepnator a try there, but it couldn't reach this guy, so then I switched back on over to the very good blade weapon, and then I'm gonna walk a little bit forward to try to activate some more of these guys. Now as you notice, he's getting hurt more and more, and he's lunging faster and faster toward me, so yeah, these guys are kind of annoying, and there's going to be a point when we're going to have to fight a couple of them at once, but it's actually a little bit easier to fight them later on than it is right here. And then once you walk even more forward, a bunch of boxes will open up, and this will be the last of these enemies in this small area. And finally, they're all dead. It takes a while, but that's just how it goes. And then there's health over here to the side, which unfortunately only gives you 4, which doesn't do a whole lot of good when you get hit a bunch of times like I did. And then we'll need to jump into this place. Now, once you jump down here, you'll have to push on the buttons, which will free all of those electric gates. But as I said before, you can try to kill them as best you can on the other side of the gates, and that will allow you to take them out before actually having to open them up, and then you won't have to deal with them. before that, once again, the mini turret or the turret glove is good to get rid of these little guys as well as that spawner, and I'm looking around here just to make sure there's no more. And then I'm gonna come on down and get some of these boxes maybe, and then take a look at the enemies inside of the gates. So when it's best just to throw your ratchet at them so you don't waste any ammo, and when they get really close to the fence, like when their claw is sticking through it, then you can hit them with a ratchet, and it takes about 3 hits with Ratchet's wrench to kill them, and you'll want to do that with every single one of the enemies behind the bars here. And this can be pretty annoying just because there's a few of them here, and it can take a little while to actually get that done, but it is definitely the easiest way. You don't have to deal with a ton of them swarming you at once, and you can't even jump up onto the higher ground, so there's no way you could even be safe there. So this is easily the safest way, and also possibly the easiest. And now that I seem to have gotten all of them, I'm going to step on the button and then continue on the way down the level. So this area has a little bit of complications going on. Now for some reason I boosted forward when I tried to throw my wrench at that guy. And the other annoying thing about these claws is that if you're not attacking them, then they're just gonna run away. They're kind of like boos. If you're not facing them, they'll chase you, but if you're facing them, trying to attack them, then they will face you. But again, if you hit them with something, then they're gonna lunge at you, so I guess that's just kind of their way of being, and that makes them pretty darn annoying when it comes to actually defeating them. The thing I hate most in games is, number one, being timed, and number two, having enemies that run away. And it's, I don't know, that one guy, just for some reason, was being really persistent about it. But anyway, I didn't go up and kill that spawner right away, because I kind of wanted to see if I could get my mini turret upgraded a little bit faster, and using a lot of these enemies that you can kill over and over is a really good way to do that, but I eventually kind of got tired of it and just thought, I'll go and get rid of it because we need to kind of continue on with this part of the level. And I said a few seconds ago that this is a little bit more complicated than other parts, and that's just because there's a little bit of a puzzle jumpingness we're going to have to do. But first, of course, take out all the enemies. It's a nice wide open space, so it's not too difficult. Just be careful about these guys trying to circle around and hit you, and as you can see there, if you do hit them and they're close by, double jumping will usually protect you from getting hit from their claws. And I was eventually getting tired of this guy, so I decided just to pull out the sniper rifle and shoot him. And at some point I upgraded the sniper, and it's actually a little bit better when it is upgraded, but I still don't like how it only has 8 ammo. It's, like I said before, it does about the same amount of damage as a rocket, but isn't really as good as a rocket, because rockets can shoot pretty darn far too. I mean, they really can, so, you know. Anyway, so the complicated, sorta, not really though, part is this part right here. So this is a conveyor belt that we're going to have to activate so we can get on top of that box and then activate that dynamo up there, and that will allow us to jump on over to the place that we need to go. So I was looking around here first to see if there's something that I can get, and there's actually a platinum bolt sitting around here somewhere that I couldn't actually figure out exactly how to get, but I wasn't really too worried about it because I don't really want to get them all anyway. Now, as you notice, if you activate that dynamo, then that big crate will start moving, so you'll need to jump into it, and then we'll want to jump out the other side once these crates open up. And be careful of these little enemies. They're pretty easy to deal with, but as always, sometimes you just forget that they're there and they can hurt kind of a lot. And now we'll want to activate this dynamo, which should activate a crane for us. And then we'll be able to jump into this place. And this will be one of the last fighting things that we have to do, and I'm just kind of glancing around thinking, okay, is there something else I'm missing? But I guess not. So once you jump down here, you won't be able to jump back up, so you'll just have to deal with these guys as they come toward you. And once again, if they lunge at you, just try to double jump so they don't hit you, but sometimes that can be kind of hard. There's health here if you need it, and there's going to be more boxes that will burst open. Luckily, not all of them will have a crab in it, but a lot of them will, like that one right there, and you'll just want to pick up a gun, use a gun that can kill them pretty quickly. And I decided to go with the HK again, and I thought for sure one burst from the HK would kill it, but it looks like you need about 2. And then I wanted to spam it here because I really just didn't want to deal with those guys. And I think that's about the end of the enemies that'll be coming out here. Nope, okay, I guess there's a few more. Maybe all the boxes have to get destroyed. Yep, there we go. Okay, so anyway, a few more tiny enemies and one of the big crab enemies. So again, just use the HK gun or a rocket. And the rocket probably is better for these guys than anything else. And then I guess I had a stroke there and didn't do anything and then shot the gun backwards. He probably made me jump a little bit because I wasn't expecting it for some weird reason. And then we're going to have to do a little bit more dynamo use to get up to this next ledge. So it's similar to the last one. Activate the dynamo and then the conveyor belt will start working, and then this will move back over here. And originally I believe it starts here, so you'll just need to activate it so you can move it all the way on this side. And you want to activate this other dynamo as you're coming toward the edge, so the crane will come down and pick you up. Then you'll be able to jump into here and you can use the electrolyzer, and then you'll be able to open up the elevator. And I believe once you finish the electrolyzer, that'll be pretty close to the end of this level.
Incoming! Get down! What the?
Hello,
Ratchet and Clank.
you lucky devils!
Angela Cross.
Has just sent you a galactic greeting!
Guys, if you get this message, please meet me on my home world. Just so you know, I found my old ID badge. I'm pretty sure we can still use it to infiltrate Megacorp HQ, but you're gonna have to hurry. Before the Protopets completely overrun us! Oh, and sorry for the balloonogram. It was the only thing I could get off this point.
We hope you enjoyed your galactic greeting!
That Angela is quite resourceful.
Yeah, she thinks of everything, doesn't she?
She also appears to be in great danger.